To start things off, we were joined by head coach of Toronto FC, Bob Bradley. So we'll start by asking questions in the room. Charlie, go ahead.
Thanks. Hi, Bob. Can we just maybe start with your overall kind of thoughts on that, especially how you thought the tempo of that match kind of changed at halftime with that triple substitution?
Yeah, it's a cup tie, man. It's a hard match, you know, and Halifax was obviously well prepared. They were really motivated. The crowd was great. And I thought in the first half our tempo was too slow. I think too many guys were getting stuck with the ball. There was too many times where the extra touches that were only getting us into trouble. And look, we're fortunate that in that situation we've got guys that football-wise can help those things. So that made a big difference. Still, it goes to the end, and so credit to Halifax. Stephen does a good job, and they have still a good group of players. Tonight was you could tell they were ready.
Perfect. Go ahead.
You mentioned it was a cup tie there. I just kind of want to get your opinion on maybe the difference between playing a team in the CPL and maybe playing an MLS side.
Yeah, in every place I've been, when you first enter the cup and you play away games against teams like Halifax, it's the same around the world. Those games just take on a whole different feeling. All right, you've got to be at your best. You've got to be sharp, and oftentimes, if you're just a little bit off in certain moments, the other team starts to believe and they hang in there, and then the game becomes a real fight. That's what tonight is all about. It's like cup matches that I've seen in a lot of different places.
Perfect. Yes, go ahead.
Sorry, it was a big fundamental piece in this game today. Score also with this United. I'm just wondering, as a coach, like it's been scoring 2 goals. I think it's been fundamental for the club. What's your take on that?
Jonathan's a good player, you know, and he's had some injuries lately. And when he's not in our midfield, it makes it really easy for every team to just focus on Michael. Like Daniel's job at the beginning of the game was to follow Michael. So, you know, when Oso's there, he knows. There have been moments when the other team is trying to man mark Michael. Michael moves a little bit. The first pass goes to Oso. Those two have a really good understanding. And then Oso also has incredible timing to move forward and get into the box. So for us, he's a really important player.
You guys are fortunately getting some guys back from injury tonight, but I know you've had a lot of injuries the last few weeks. Why is it, do you think, you've had so many of those injuries? Particularly the soft tissue injuries that come down again.
Soft tissue of guys that weren't playing that much. We look hard at our training loads. You know, we would like to continue trying to be a team that presses a little bit more and plays at a little higher tempo. And so you have to train them in those ways. We got through preseason 5 weeks where that part was the foundation was built in a very good way. There were no soft tissue injuries. And then we've had some since. And they're all different. They're all strange. You know, most of them have not been acute injuries where all of a sudden they're running and they feel something and they, you know, it's something that they come out of a game and something seems a little fatigued. So yeah, we look hard at all that. I'm not sure. You know, there are times when I know that other teams in the world are in the process of trying to change the way they play, and then in those early days, maybe because the game model and training is different, some of that takes time. So yeah, it's stuff that we work with our performance staff and our medical staff to see if we can keep trying to find answers and better ways to do things.
Great, thanks for the insight.
Go ahead,
Just
Charlie.
one quick one on Jacob. Obviously, I know you've been out for a little bit with injuries. How much did he want to get back for this game, and how much did it mean to him just to be able to play here?
Yeah, he was really excited. I mean, Jacob is a really good kid. You know, he's still growing as a professional. He's still learning every day. But I think anybody who has spent time around him knows that he's a really good guy, you know, and so it meant a lot for him growing up around here to come and play. And yeah, he came on and helped us. So I was happy for him.
Thank you. And now we'll go to the Zoom participants and we'll open it up to John Molinaro for our final question.
Thanks. Bob, just wanted to follow up on Charlie's question just there about Jacob. Maybe you just give a more of an evaluation of his performance off the bench. I thought he made a really smart play, when he played that ball across the box that led to the Osos goal. Aside from that, what did you make of the way he played over the last 20 minutes?
Yeah, he was excited. So the part that you always have from Jacob is his willingness to run, his willingness to try to get on the end of a ball. And one of the things that he has is that when he does get down the left side, he's got a good ability to get balls across. So, at that point in the game, we switched a little bit more to a 4-4-2 so that he could be in that left midfield spot. Jaden pushed out a little wider on the right, and then obviously Jesus played around or underneath Io. So we thought that was a good way to finish the game. And part of it was just we thought it put Jacob in the best possible situation to make a play like the one he made.
Perfect. Thank you very much. That will conclude this portion
Okay.
of the press conference.
Thank
you
you.
for joining us, Bob.
Thank you.
We will shortly be joined by 21, Jonathan Osorio from Toronto FC.
No, I know I wouldn't.
Thank you everyone for your patience as we just wait for Jonathan Osorio. It should just be another minute. Great. Thank you everyone for your patience. We'll start the same way with in-person questions. And then if you have a question from Zoom, we just ask that you raise your hand. We'll call upon you so you can then take yourself off mute and ask your question. So we'll start with in-person. Charlie?
Hey, Jonathan, can we just maybe start with your kind of overall impression of what this whole experience was like, the intensity of the match, the atmosphere, the whole kind of experience?
Yeah, it was good. Obviously, I think these matches are important for our country and the growth of our sport. And, it was a great experience coming over here and seeing the atmosphere here. I imagine it's probably one of the better ones in the CPL. And it was great. It was great to see their fans come and support them and push their team and give their team belief. So yeah, that's great. That's great. I think for our country, for the CPL, for everything, kind of the soccer, and we got the win, so that helps. That's good.
Do you mind just walking us through the second goal there?
Yeah, it became a little bit of a chaotic game, obviously, and they got a lot of confidence off the goal, and obviously the pressure is on us to finish it. So I don't really remember how we got up the field, but we got up the field, and I think somebody slipped through Jacob, and he took a touch wide, I think, which he had a chance to go on goal and be the hero in the city, but he took the touch wide, and he did really well to put it back across. And as soon as he touched the ball wide, I seen the opening in the back post. So when he puts it there, it leads for good things. And luckily, I hit it. I didn't hit it the way I wanted it to be honest. I hit it a little bit too high, but luckily I was close enough to hit off the crossbar.
And you obviously you played in the national team, and you mentioned there the importance of kind of having these games. Was there anything that maybe surprised you that you weren't expecting, maybe playing a team from the CPL?
No, I mean we played them. We played twice last year against Pacific and York, and so that surprised me. No, I mean I think the level in the league gets better every year. It's good to see the young players there. I think there's a couple of other players I thought that they performed really well, and they brought the intensity as they should. In these games, I think it's a bit easier for the CPL teams to really get up for it and bring the intensity, especially at home against, when you're the underdog, you have that, that comes naturally, and they brought it, to be fair. And I don't think we did for most of the game, but credit to them. They gave us a hard time today, and they played well.
Perfect. If there are no other questions in person, we'll turn it over to Zoom. So Michael Singh, if you'd like to go ahead.
Thanks. Hey, Osa. Just after your goal there, I noticed there wasn't really much emotion. It was a game winner in a cup match, but you were pretty stoic there after the match. Or after the goal, sorry. What was your reaction? What was going through your head after you scored that?
But there was still time in the game left, so we gotta focus. The game wasn't done there. That's all. We had to regroup, and that's all. That there was time in the game, and we needed to finish it on the right way.
Thank you very much. We'll now turn it over to John Molinaro for the last question.
Thanks. Hi, Oso. Congrats on the win. I mean, you mentioned the smart play there that Jacob made it, instead of sort of taking that shot, he, had enough presence of mind to play it across the box and find you. Aside from that, I'm just wondering if you could sort of speak to the impact that Jacob had tonight coming off the bench in the 70th minute, because it seemed like that was really gave you guys an extra step in the attack when he came on.
Yeah, Jacob is a direct player, and he can really hurt you with his speed and his energy, and that's what we need from him when he comes in games or if he starts games. And he brought that today, and I'm very happy for him that he got to play this game in front of his home crowd and his family and friends. It was amazing to see. He was a little bit nervous going into this game, and I think the nerves showed in the first couple of plays, but he shook it off and got into it and got the confidence, and coming off an injury, I thought he played really well. So yeah, it was great on him. Like I said on the play, I thought maybe if he didn't take the touch so wide, he would have been the hero in his hometown. But no, he made a great play, put it across, and it was a huge play for us in the end.
Thanks, John. Safe travels home.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. That'll conclude your question. Thanks, Jonathan.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. We're now just waiting for head coach of Halifax Wanderers, Stephen Hart, to join us. It'll just be a moment. Thank you, everyone, for waiting. Once again, just a reminder, we'll start with questions from the room, and then we'll turn it over to Zoom. We're now joined by head coach of Halifax Wanderers, Stephen Hart. So we'll start with questions in the room. Charlie, go ahead.
Stephen, it's always a tough one to swallow when you concede late, but it feels like there's definitely a lot to be proud of from a game and a performance like that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm disappointed with the result, but the performance of the players, almost every one of them, was fantastic. Excellent first half, very balanced, very composed, and except for a few minutes in the opening of the second half, we brought ourselves right back into the game after being scored on. I'm proud of them, of course, but at the end of the day, we've been playing good games. Good game against Vala, good game against Pacific, good game and not getting results, right? But they showed a lot of character after what happened Friday night. A lot of character.
Perfect, go ahead.
You mentioned a lot of the team played very well tonight. In particular, I thought the midfield three, and then when Omar came on and same like that, and Robinson there. Can you just give me a little bit of what they bring to your team? Because obviously, I think they bring a lot of energy, and there might be I think Pelosi is very underrated. Can you just give me a little bit of what you think maybe that they brought to the game tonight?
Yeah, look, Pelosi has been gradually coming back from a very long injury, and but tonight he brought not only energy, some quality passes. They all three midfielders were fantastic tonight, and again, like in the Montreal game, we lose two key players at a tough time. But they bring leadership. They show their composure. They basically matched up against the opposition midfield, and was good to see. Good performance.
Let's go ahead.
Do we know anything about the injury to
Jeremy, we knew he was carrying something. He told us at halftime he can give us about 10 minutes. He gave us a lot more. He pushed it to the end. Once I saw Andre stay down, I know something's wrong. But we don't know yet. The medical team are still with him.
Perfect, yes, go ahead.
Stephen, my question is for Samu Salter. He's been developing pretty well over matches. He's for being such a young player, he's stepping up. He's getting better with the rhythm that we're getting through the games. How's his mind focus? He just keeps scoring as a manager.
Yeah, I mean, I talk to Sam regularly because he is a young player. He can't listen to too much of the praise, but I'm encouraging him to be more adventurous, right? To get into the penalty area, to look to get into shooting positions, just be a little more aggressive in and around the penalty area. Once he starts to do that and he gains composure, like his first finish, he will score goals. I mean, if he learned from the first finish, the one he hit over the bar, he should have just gone on the ground. But that's just young enthusiasm. But yeah, fantastic. He's doing very well.
Thank you very much. We'll now turn it over to the Zoom portion. Go ahead, Brandon.
Thanks, sir. Hey, Stephen. Just want to. I know that the question's already been asked about Stephen, or sorry, about Andre and Jeremy, but I just want to maybe follow that up with whether you had any comments on how Andre played in the 65 or so minutes that he got tonight.
Yeah, I thought he was in control of the midfield. He moved the ball from side to side. He was splitting lines with his passes, and he was playing behind. And defensively, he was coming up with the ball. He reads the game very, very well, and he does protect the defense very well. I thought he was arguably one of the best players on the pitch tonight.
And just maybe if you had similar comments to Jeremy's performance as well, as he put in a solid shift tonight as well.
Yeah, they complement each other. Jeremy has a high work rate, even injured. He doesn't panic under pressure. And again, he moved the ball very well tonight. Very, very well. And he was joining, supporting the attack. So, you know, it hurts when you have to bring them off in the game when you are looking for a goal. But hey, that's football.
Appreciate the comments, Stephen, and commiserations on the loss tonight.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, everyone. That will conclude Stephen's portion of the post-match press conference this evening. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you. Now we'll just ask you all for a bit of patience as we wait for player number 9, Sam Salta from Halifax Murders, to join us. Thank you very much for joining us this evening, Sam. Just one more time for everyone's reminder, we will start with in-person questions and then we will turn it over to Zoom. So we'll start with in-person. Go ahead, Charlie.
Sam, it's probably a tough one to swallow when you concede late like that, but I'm sure that there's probably a lot to be proud of from a game and just how hard you made it for them.
Yeah, and honestly, I'm proud of the guys. We fought back and managed to get a goal. Obviously disappointed with the result, but I think we showed a lot of character coming back in this game, and just overall the way we played, I think we played really well, and obviously disappointed with the result.
Score a goal in another game here. Obviously, like you said, you wanted the result, but can you just give us a little bit of what that does for your confidence here? Like I asked you before, playing out wide, it's a little bit of a different position for you from where you used to play in the middle. But can you just give us a little bit of what playing out wide and scoring out wide is done for your confidence?
Yeah, honestly, it's good for confidence to get a goal. And yeah, honestly, I feel well. I feel good. Managers give me a lot of confidence, and it's good that I can give him back some goals.
Are there any other questions in person? Sure, go ahead.
Was there anything that maybe threw you off or something you weren't expecting from Toronto FC, or was it kind of the game that you thought it was going to be?
No, honestly, we try to press them high and follow the game plan, and I think which we did. So not really. I think we just followed the game plan, and I think we did well.
You maybe just like explain a bit what that moment was like. Like first of all, what did you see to cut in and take a shot, and then just what was that feeling like when this place just kind of explodes?
Yeah, honestly, great feeling. It's nothing better than scoring at the Wanderers ground. I think Jeremy, he gets passed me the ball, and first I'm looking for Zach with the overlap, and I think the guy cuts it well, so I just decided to cut inside, and honestly, I couldn't tell you what happened. I knew that I shot and it went in, so I'm buzzing at this point.
Yes, go ahead.
It's more like a personal question for you, Sam.
Yeah.
Today, Steady was exploding. It's probably one of the best atmospheres I've seen even last year. You played the champion trail.
Yeah.
I just wanted to know if you have any message for all the supporters and all the fan base that came to the stadium.
Yeah. Thank you for coming every game. Thank you for making this atmosphere very, very welcoming and a great place to play. Honestly, it's like you said, the best atmosphere I think in the league, and tonight was special. The fans were great.
Thank you. Now we'll turn it over to the Zoom portion. Brandon, go ahead.
Thanks there. Hey, Sam. Congratulations on the goal today. Just want to ask, you touched a little bit on the pass from Jeremy there, but obviously he's from Quebec, you're from Quebec. There's a lot of players on this team from Quebec. Just wondering what that sort of relationship has been, not only between you and Jeremy, but with guys like Pierre and with Zach as well. And just wondering how that all has been going.
Oh yeah, great. I mean, it's great to come in the atmosphere with a lot of guys that I knew before, coming from the academy and stuff. I think we get along very well off the pitch, so that helps us a lot to get along on the pitch. So, I mean, it's great to play along these guys. They're great teammates and they're great players.
Much appreciated, and good luck with the weekend.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. That will conclude this evening's post-match press conference. Thank you, Sam, for joining us.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah.